So Michael Burry just tweeted about the economy and about inflation for 2023. It's starting off with a bang. He's talking about peak inflation. What's going to happen with the economy in 2023? We're going to get into it because it's good to hear from Michael Burry because he did predict the macro crash of the 2008 financial crisis. So it's important to hear what he has to say because there's so much happening in this economy and we got to prepare for the future because this might affect our investments, and you have to just be aware of what's going on. Think about it. Warren Buffett's not buying Chevron and Oxy just because he likes the company. He's understanding what's happening in the economy right now and why oil prices are going up. And with oil prices going up, it's creating an amazing run for a lot of these oil companies, and he can see that into the future. So let's look at what Michael Burry is saying. Let's hear what Michael Burry has to say about inflation and what the Fed is going to do about interest rates in the near term. So Michael Burry just tweeted this out. Look what he has to say about inflation. Inflation peaked, but is not the last peak of this cycle. We are likely to see CPI lower. So he's actually predicting that the CPI is going to be lower for this year, which is actually a great thing. And the government is doing a lot. They're increasing interest rates like crazy because they want that CPI down. People can't afford oil, groceries, just buying consumer goods. Like everything is just down in the drain because the prices are skyrocketed. Possibly negative in the second half of 2023 and the US in a recession by any definition. The Fed will cut and the government will stimulate. Damn, like we do not need this. We have people like Elon Musk actually advocating for the Fed to cut during these times. We do not need a Fed cut. If the Fed cut, just like Michael Burry just said, inflation is just going to skyrocket again. Elon Musk tweets that the Fed must cut interest rates immediately or cause a severe recession. And the only reason why Elon Musk is tweeting this because he sees the demand for his products going down. Like people are not buying Teslas like crazy because their interest rates are just too high. Your payment on the vehicle will be just crazy. So he's like, damn, no, we do not want the Fed to raise interest rates. But this is what is needed in the economy, man. We don't need inflated grocery bills and consumer goods and just products, man. It's killing the average consumer. So that's why the Fed is doing this. And then we have also Cathie Wood. Cathie Wood is saying the exact same thing. Cathie Wood says that the Fed is making a serious mistake by ignoring the critical recession indicator. We already know that the US, Canada are already in a recession. Just look at any indicator, like the growth of the US and the Canada has just been going down and down. It's pretty much negative. But it doesn't matter right now because the Fed doesn't care about that. It's looking at inflation. And the only way to cut inflation is to raise interest rates. That's what happened in the 1970s when Volcker did it. That was the most successful way of doing it. So that's what the Fed is doing right now. That's what Michael Burry is afraid of. That the Fed is going to see inflation going down and they're just going to cut interest rates again, increase inflation again, leading to probably a more major recession. And we will have another inflation spike. It's not hard. That's what he's tweeting. He's pretty much predicting that the Federal Reserve is just going to see inflation going down and down and down. And then the Fed's going to be like, oh, damn, this is a good opportunity to cut rates again. But then the inflation is just going to spike all over again. So he's saying, no, we got to keep interest rates high or kind of going up. And that's what the Fed has been doing, and that's what people are predicting for 2023. Investors brace for more market turmoil as interest rates keep rising. People in the industry, people on Wall Street are expecting interest rates to keep at the steady pace. Looking back at Howard Marks, the Sea Change, that made a video about this, is that he's seeing the interest rate environment stand pat for 2023, maybe even into 2024. So what is that going to do to equities? A lot of these technology stocks are not going to get these premium valuations because people are just looking at cash flow. They're not looking at growth anymore. With the higher interest rates, debt servicing is going to be harder to do. So when you have that world view of interest rates are going to be high, inflation might not go all the way down. People are looking to energy stocks, looking to more bank stocks because they benefit from a higher interest rate. So that's how people are starting to think about investing. And we're seeing this firsthand. $12 trillion has already left the market because people are scared. The stock market turned upside down last year when the Federal Reserve abandoned its easy money policies. And that's what's been happening for the last 12 years. Do you guys think the Federal Reserve will lower interest rates this year? I just don't see it. And that's going to affect stocks like Tesla. Any stocks that are very cyclical, it's going to affect those stocks. Many investors say the ramifications are beginning to ripple through the markets. The central bank has raised interest rates to the highest level since 2007. Guys, inflation in June was around 9%. They have it in November of last year at 7% and it was kind of going down. So if inflation is still at 7%, and most people don't even agree with that because they're seeing rent prices, they're seeing grocery prices going way higher than 7%. So majority of people understand that no one wants to spend their money. So if no one's spending their money in all these consumer good product companies that need people to spend their money, it's just not going to happen. So a lot of investors are seeing pretty much a flat S&P this year. And I kind of agree with that. I think it's going to be flat or maybe even go down because people are leaving the flashy tech stocks that everyone was grossly overvaluing in 2021. So that's what a lot of people are forecasting. And with energy prices going up, energy prices continue to go up because a lot of stuff is happening. Russia banned sales of oil to countries imposing price caps. So any country that has a price cap on oil of $60 or more, because people want to cap the price of oil because they don't want energy prices to go up. But Russia is like, damn, why would we doing that? We want more revenue. And people are just banning our oil production pretty much. They're going to start banning the exports to countries that have these price caps. What do you think that's going to do to the economy? No one really knows, but if that happened, you can kind of see energy prices going up. And if energy prices go up, damn, that's going to cause more inflation. There's headaches to the economy. Man, there's a lot happening in 2023 that can come to fruition. Exxon sues EU over windfall profit levy. This levy on Exxon is because they're seeing their oil prices go up like crazy. They're getting all this money, but EU is like, nah, everyone in the EU is suffering right now and we want the money that you're making. But that makes no sense because they're just taking that money for themselves. They're not putting that money to the customers or the people that actually have to pay higher prices because of the oil problem going on right now. I think EU is being greedy and being really short-minded. Michael Burry actually tweeted this article out and saying pretty much the same thing. A lot of companies are profiting off this Ukraine-Russian war. No one knows when this Ukraine and Russia war is going to end. So how is this going to affect oil prices, inflation, just demand for products, like shipping costs? Like there's so much to talk about with this economy right now. What do you think about the economy going forward in 2023? Even though it's like the second day, man, there's so much happening. There's so much to talk about. Guys, what do you think about all of this? Like and subscribe. Peace.